Live from the softball complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island, you're watching exclusive non-conference doubleheader softball action right here on CSI Sportsnet. This afternoon, the College of Staten Island looks to continue their monster 2017 season, coming into today's game with a 28-6 record as they get ready to face Drew University here this afternoon in a doubleheader. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Babusky here, and it's been an exciting 2017 season for this version of the CSI Dolphins as they've really come back from Orlando, and really since that time only lost 3 games the entire 2017 season, 2 to Montclair State before dropping a game against Moravian. But then the Dolphins roared back and was able to win the second game of the doubleheader, defeating number 7 Moravian College on the road by a final score of 3-1. And since that time, the Dolphins have swept a doubleheader from John Jay and New Jersey City University. So their winning streak has gone up to 5 as they get ready for their final 2 doubleheaders, both non-conference, before the semifinals of the CUNYAC tournament, which is scheduled to begin next Thursday right here at the CSI softball complex. And the Dolphins will go into that tournament as the number 1 seed in the conference, having finished with a 12-0 record on the year, and are looking to win their 5th consecutive CUNYAC championship. The Dolphins have won the CUNYAC championship every year since 2013. They have 18 CUNYAC championships overall, going for their 19th here tonight, and are looking to make their 10th NCAA appearance if they can win the CUNYAC championship later this week. For the Dolphins, it will be Jacqueline Cortella on the mound for the Dolphins. Jacqueline coming in with a 13-2 record overall on the season, really having one of the best seasons ever for any CSI pitcher, and is going to look to go for her 14th win here this afternoon. She will face right-handed pitcher Emma Agostini. Agostini coming in with a 5-10 record overall. Drew coming into today's game with an overall record of 9-20, so a little bit of a struggling year for the Rangers here in 2017. And Dolphins looking to continue on their winning ways. They've locked in their position for the CUNYAC tournament. They're going to look to go in on a roll into the CUNYAC tournament. They have 4 games remaining, 2 this afternoon against Drew University, and then they have a doubleheader scheduled for this Sunday, also at home against FDU Florham, a game that we will have for you right here on CSI Sportsnet, as we will have coverage for you throughout the Dolphins CUNY tournament run, and then hopefully a run in the NCAA tournament. As if the Dolphins are able to win the CUNYAC championship, they will get a bid into the CUNYAC conference. The Dolphins, as we mentioned, coming in with a record of 28-6 on the year, and really have been on a roll. And going back into the 5-year history of this championship run for the Dolphins, the most wins they've ever gotten, and that includes both CUNYAC tournament and an NCAA victory in this run since 2013, has been 31 when they were 31-12. Dolphins looking to win 30 games here in the regular season this year, and could get there if they were able to successfully sweep the Rangers here in the doubleheader here this afternoon. The College of Staten Island is coming off of a couple of road victories against New Jersey City University. They played against NCJU this Monday afternoon. In the first game, it was Jackie Cortella coming out for the Dolphins, really pitching a very strong game. The Dolphins were able to pick up a couple of quick runs in the second inning, a run in the third, and 3 more in the fifth. The only run allowed by Cortello was a single run in the 4th inning for New Jersey City University, and that was, of course, an unearned run. So Cortella gets another complete game win. It's her 13th win overall, as the Dolphins were able to win that first game. And she also picked up a couple of RBIs on a couple of hits in that first game, as did Antoinette Galbo for the Dolphins. Jamie Holmes and Juliana Katella also picked up RBIs for the Dolphins in that one. A couple extra base hits in the game, Jamie Holmes and Patricia Ritchie's, and surprisingly a couple errors for the Dolphins in that game, as both Antoinette Galbo and Kristy Angelo picked up errors in that game. It was the error on Angelo that allowed a run to score in that game, but Dolphins kind of cruised their way through that game and were able to extend their winning streak. And then in game number 2, it was another complete game for the CSI Dolphins. This time, Allison Marr with the complete game as she picked up the win to up her record to 6-1 in a game that was shortened to 6 innings due to the Dolphin 10-run lead. Dolphins were held scoreless for the first 3, but exploded for 4 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th to open the lead up to 10-0. And Marr, another fantastic game, allowed 5 hits, struck out 4, didn't walk anybody as she cruised to her 6th victory in another complete game victory win for the Dolphins. So a couple of very solid performances for the Dolphins on the road against New Jersey City University, and they're going to look to continue that solid play here this afternoon against Drew University. As we mentioned, Drew coming in struggling a little bit this year, coming in with a record of just 9-20 overall on the season, including a 3-7 record in the conference, but they are coming off of a nice split against Scranton in a couple of landmark conference games. They also split a doubleheader with Hunter, so they are 2-2 in their last 4. They are 4-2 in their last 6 as they beat Lehman College in the doubleheader before that. So Drew's had a nice, successful run against CUNY Conference teams so far here in this 2017 season, coming in with a record of 3-1 against the CUNYAC Conference here this year. The Dolphins will look to improve that record here this afternoon against Drew University. So should be a big afternoon of softball. The forecast called for a little bit of clouds, a little bit of sun. It's a pretty nice day here this afternoon for softball. We expect to have no problem getting in both games, and it's been a little bit of a grind getting some of these games in here in this 2017 season. But lately the weather's been pretty good, and the Dolphins are looking to continue their role here in this 2017 season. Taking a quick look at the Rangers before we bring you the starting lineups here this afternoon. We mentioned Emma Agostini on the mound. Emma coming in with a 5-10 record overall. Drew coming in with a team ERA over 5 runs a game in the landmark conference. As far as on the batting side, Heather Roncini leading the Rangers in batting. She's batting .367 on the year. Agostini, the starting pitcher, second on the team in batting in .361. So a couple of players on the top of the Drew batting order. Their first 4 players all batting over 300. So a very effective offensive team this year so far, but limited in power with just 3 home runs on the season and just 31 other base hits, 28 doubles, and 3 triples on the year. So it should be an exciting afternoon of softball here this afternoon. A lot of history between these two teams, and obviously the current athletic director, though not future academic director for the Rangers, Jason Fine, obviously the director of CSI Athletics before going over to Drew, and he'll be heading up to Bates up in Maine to move up into the Division III conference. So, like we said, a nice bit of history between these two teams, a lot of competition between them in all the Division III sports, and something we certainly hope will continue in the future. So we're just a couple of minutes away from the start of this afternoon's game between the Dolphins and the Rangers. So why don't we get you the Rangers starting lineup here this afternoon that will face Jackie Cortella. Cara O'Leary will lead off, and she'll play right field. Brooke Adams will be in center. She'll bat second. Heather Roncini will be the catcher, batting third. Katie Grotsky will be at second base, bat fourth. Emma Agostini will be pitching. She'll bat fifth. Mcguire will be at third base. She'll bat sixth. Bethany Budner will be at first base. She'll bat seventh. Lauren Mastro Piero will be in left field. She'll bat eighth. Megan Mcguire will be the shortstop, and she will bat ninth. And Emma, the starting pitcher here for the Rangers this afternoon, will also bat fifth. So there'll be no designated player for the Rangers here in game number one. The lineup for the Dolphins: Jackie Cortello will lead off. She'll be on the mound. Antoinette Galbo will be at second base. She'll bat second. Patricia Riches will be at shortstop. She'll bat third. Vanessa Joya will be around in left. She'll bat fourth. Kristy Angelo will be in center. She'll bat fifth. Ashley Taro will be the designated player. She'll bat sixth. Jamie Holmes will be catching. She'll bat seventh. Nicola Trapani will be at first base. She'll bat eighth. Juliana Katella will be in right field. She'll bat ninth. And Christian Marr will be at third base, and she'll be the flex player here in the game this afternoon. So the Dolphins coming in, playing very well. Cortella pitching very well. A 13-2 record overall this season for the Dolphins, and her numbers still just off the charts. In addition to a 13-2 record, 0.66 ERA. This will be her 16th appearance. She has 14 complete games. The other game could have easily been a complete game. She was just taken out as the Dolphins were dominating a game against Lehman College. She has 5 shutouts on the year. In 95 innings pitched, she's allowed just 52 hits, just 17 runs on the year, only 9 earned. She's walked 19 and struck out 69 batters, and opposing batters just batting 156 against Cortella here in this 2017 season. So the coaches are out at home plate and just going over the ground rules. They're touching up the field here, and we're just about ready to have the national anthem and get underway here this afternoon as Dolphins look to continue on that roll that we've been talking about. And as we mentioned, the Dolphins have only lost 3 games since coming back from Orlando, Florida, and just have 6 losses on the year overall, are undefeated in conference play, and have a 5-game winning streak coming into the game here this afternoon. The Dolphins 10-2 at home, and home is where the Cuniac Softball Championships will take place. Their only 2 losses of the season against Montclair State, 2 close ones, as the Dolphins drop a doubleheader by final scores of 2-0 and 1-0. So those were the only 2 losses at home here so far for the Dolphins in this 2017 season. So we're just moments away from the start of this doubleheader here this afternoon as the College of Staten Island getting ready to play. The next Sportsnet broadcast will be this Saturday afternoon against Lehman College up at the men's baseball diamond up at the baseball complex, as the men clinching the first spot in the Cuniac Championship tournament, a tournament that will also take place right here at the CSI baseball complex. So a lot of good news for the softball and baseball teams here in 2017. Both teams playing well. Both teams going in to the Cuniac tournament hot this year. The women looking to make their 5th consecutive NCAA appearance here in this 2017 season. On the men's side, no automatic bid in the Cuniac Conference this year, so NCAA tournament bid not on the line. But hopefully, if you're a CSI baseball fan, you can go through the tournament, play well, and pick up another Cuniac championship for head coach Mike Morrow. So we're just moments away from the start of today's game. Why don't we step aside, take a break for the national anthem, and then we'll be back and get you ready for the start of this afternoon's game between the College of Staten Island and the Drew University Rangers. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back. We're back, and we're just moments away from the start of the first game of today's matinee doubleheader between the College of Staten Island and the Drew University Rangers. Jackie Cortella, going for her 14th win of the season, will be on the mound for the Dolphins, and she will face Emma Agostini, who's coming in with a record of 5-10 for the Drew University Rangers. We gave you the Drew University lineup just a moment ago, so let's get you the Dolphins' defensive alignment here in game number one. It'll be Nicola Trapani at first base, Antoinette at second, and Patricia Riches at short, and Kirsten Barr will be at third. Vanessa Joya in left, Kristy Angelo in center, Juliana Cortello will be around in right field, Jamie Holmes will be behind the plate, and it'll be Jackie Cortella on the mound here for the Dolphins this afternoon. We gave you Cortella's numbers just a moment ago. They certainly bear repeating. Is Jackie having a season that would shatter all Dolphin records if the season were to end here this afternoon? Is Jackie coming in, as we mentioned, with a overall record here on this season of 13-2 here for the Dolphins, a .66 ERA, and has just allowed 71 base runners here in the entire season. Just 52 hits and 19 walks, has yet to hit a batter, and the opposing batter's batting just 156 against her. So Jackie coming in and looking for her 14th win here this afternoon, and sun peeking out here, temperature up in the mid-60s, and a nice afternoon for softball. And for the Rangers, it'll be Cara O'Leary to lead off. O'Leary, the right fielder, here for the Rangers this afternoon. She's coming in batting .298 on the year, a double, a triple, and 5 RBIs. So Katella finishes her warm-up tosses. Holmes guns the ball down to second. The Dolphins will meet up at the pitcher's mound, and we'll get ready to get underway here, as the 28-6 Dolphins will look to extend their winning streak against Drew University here this afternoon. So left-handed hitter Cara O'Leary will lead off. And we're about ready to get underway here this afternoon. So Cortello will face O'Leary. Dolphins playing very well defensively this year, as the first pitch is going to be taken for a ball, 1-0. Dolphins have just committed 29 errors on the year, and that pitch is going to be up high for a ball, so Cortello falls behind in the count now, 2-0. So 29 errors in 34 games, less than an error a game for the Dolphins. As Cortella's ready, the 2-0 is up high for a ball, 3-0, and those last couple weren't that close. So Cortella yet to get a feel out on the mound in her first 3 pitches. Cortella winds, and that pitch is going to be taken for a strike, 3-1. Rangers coming in batting .282 as a team. Just 3 home runs as Cortella pours that one over the plate, and has worked her way back to run the count full at 3-2. The 3-2 pitch is swung on and foul back. Count holds at 3-2. Just underway, first of 2. Dolphins and Rangers here at the CSI Baseball Complex. Cortella ready. The 3-2 is swung on and skied up in the air in short center field. Angelo right there, and she makes the catch for the first out. So a nice at-bat by O'Leary forces Cortella to throw 7 pitches before flying out to center. 1 up, 1 down for the Rangers, and that'll bring up center fielder Brooke Adams. Adams batting .288 on the year. She's 23 of 80, 15 runs scored, 2 doubles, and 9 RBIs. The wind, and the first pitch is going to be bunted out in front of the mound. Cortella bare hands and gets it over to Trapani in time for the out. So a good idea that time by Adams. She tried to get Cortello a little back behind the plate, but the ball went out a little bit too far. Cortello able to come out, make the play barehanded, and get it over to Trapani for the second out. So 2 up, 2 down quickly, and that's going to bring up Heather Roncini, the catcher. And the first pitch is on the outside corner for a strike 0-1. Heather batting .367 on the year to lead the Rangers in batting, 33 of 90, 6 doubles, a triple, and 19 RBIs. As that's going to run the count even to 1-1. Heather leading the Rangers in doubles and RBIs here in this 2017 season. And that pitch is blooped to right field, but Katella is there. Now comes in a few steps and makes the catch for the final out. So the Rangers go down in order, nothing across in their half of the first inning. 1 half inning of play in the books with the score. Rangers nothing, Dolphins coming to bat. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the bottom half of the first inning. Jackie Cortella retires the Rangers in their half of the first inning. It took her 7 pitches to get through Cara O'Leary, but then she retires Adams and Roncini on 4 additional pitches. So a 12-pitch inning for Cortella starts the game for the Dolphins, and she will lead off here for CSI in this game this afternoon. And let's get you the Dolphin lineup here. It'll be Jackie Cortello leading off and pitching. Antoinette Cowboy at second. She'll bat second. Patricia Riches at shortstop. She'll bat third. Vanessa Joya in left, batting fourth. Kristy Angelo in center, batting fifth. Ashley Notaro, the designated player. She'll bat sixth. Jamie Holmes, who hit a home run in that doubleheader against NCJU, will be catching and batting seventh. Nicola Trapani at first base, batting eighth. Julia Katella will be in right field, and she will bat ninth. Getting you the Ranger lineup defensively here in game number 1 is we have a little bit of an issue out on the pitcher's mound that the umpires are out discussing with the head coach of the Rangers. It'll be Brittany Budner at first base, Katie Grotsky at second, Megan Mcguire will be at shortstop, and Megan Bayer will be around at third. Lauren Mastro Piero will be in left, I should say. Brooke Adams in center. Cara O'Leary around in right field. Heather Roncini will be behind the plate, and Emma Agostini on the mound for the Rangers. Agostini coming in to today's game with a 5-10 record and a 4.52 ERA. This is going to be her 19th appearance, her 16th start. She has 14 complete games in 97 and 2/3 innings. She's allowed 148 hits, 104 runs, 63 earned, walked 57, struck out 29, and opposing batters are batting .327 against her this year. And, you know, one of the things that stand out when you look at the Rangers here so far in this 2017 season, team ERA up over 5, and that makes it very difficult when you have to score an average of 5 runs a game to compete. So we're just trying to see if Agostini is comfortable out on the mound, and then we'll get ready to get underway as Jackie Cortella will lead off here for the Dolphins. Jackie having, in addition to having a phenomenal year in the circle, having a phenomenal year, at the plate. .374 batting average, 3 homers, 26 RBIs, and 9 doubles and a triple as well. So Cortella looking to get back on track, got into a little bit of a slump where she went 4 games, I believe, without getting a base hit, but really looking to bounce back here down the stretch as the leadoff hitter and spark plug for the Dolphins, as she will get ready to lead off. So we're ready to get underway, and the first pitch is going to be taken for a ball, 1-0. Agostini down in the count, 1-0. The wind and the 1-0. He's outside for a ball, 2-0. Katella, Galbo, and Richie's to bat here in the top half of the first inning for the Dolphins. Agostini winds, and the pitch is taken for a ball, 3-0. So Cortello fell behind in the count to O'Leary, 3-0, before working her way back. Agostini does the same thing for the Rangers. The 3-0 is way up high, ball 4. And we were giving you Agostino's numbers here before the inning got started. And in 97 innings, she's walked 57 batters, and that's a lot of base on balls. And you combine that with the 148 hits that she's given up so far this year, and that's over 200 base runners in under 100 innings. And makes it very tough. So now it'll be Antoinette Galbo to bat as Galbo swings and bunts it foul and falls behind in the count, 0-1. Galbo's gotten her average back up to 400, 4,400. She's also scored 36 runs for the Dolphins this year, 8 doubles, a triple, and 24 RBIs. 0-1 the count and the pitch. Galbo shows bunt but pulls the bat back, and that's going to even the count up now at 1-1. Galbo coming in with an on-base percentage of .469 here for the Dolphins in this 2017 season as she swings, shows bunt, and bunted foul once again, and now falls behind in the count, 1-2. We'd expect the bunt to be coming off with 2 strikes. And Patricia Riches on deck here for the Dolphins. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. The pitch is going to be down low for a ball, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, no one out. Runner on first here for the Dolphins. Here in the bottom half of the first. The wind and the pitch is going to be up high for a ball, and that's going to even the count up now at 2-2. I'll actually make it run the count to 3-2. Dolphins coming in with a .353 batting average and a team on base percentage of .425 as Galbo chases the high pitch, swings and misses for strike 3. So that time Galbo probably went after ball 4, goes down swinging for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Patricia Riches. Riches batting .548 on the year, 12 doubles, 3 triples, 4 homers, and 40 RBIs, having a phenomenal season and an on-base percentage over 60% here for the Dolphins. Agostini ready. The pitch is taken for a strike, 0-1. Dolphins getting a leadoff walk. Cortella's at first base now with 1 out, and Richards down in the count, 0-1. The wind and the 0-1 pitch is taken on the outside corner for a strike now, 0-2. Nice pitching by Agostini, getting ahead of Richards on a couple of nice pitches. That one on the corner, and she's now ahead in the count, 0-2. Agostini looking in for the sign. The 0-2 to Richards is swung on and grounded slowly back to the mound. It goes under the glove of the pitcher, and that will allow Richards to get on to first base. Patricia just really nubbed that one down under the glove of the pitcher, and it's going to be ruled a base hit, but Agostini had a pretty good shot to play that ball, but just could not get it. So an infield single For Riches gives the Dolphins 2 runners on, 1 out, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Vanessa Joya. The wind and the first pitch as Joya swings and pops that one up to shortstop. Mcguire is there, and she'll make the catch with the infield fly rule called for the out. So Joya, first pitch swinging, pops up to shortstop for the second out of the inning. And now if the Dolphins are going to score in their half of the first inning, it's going to take a 2-out base hit from Kristy Coangelo. Coangelo batting .374 on the year. Agostini looking in for the sign, and the first pitch to Coangelo just off the outside corner for a ball, 1-0. Kristy 32 of 91, 7 doubles, 2 triples, a home run, and 25 RBIs. The wind and the pitch to Coangelo is on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. So a nice job by Agostini. She walked Cortello on 4 pitches, but has really settled down since then. And the count even now on Coangelo at 1-1, and the pitch is up high for a ball, 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike now on Coangelo. The Dolphins with 2 runners on here in the bottom of the first, trying to get out to an early lead. The pitch is taken for a strike, and that's going to even the count up at 2-2. Agostini had been working outside, came in that time, and evens the count up at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and foul back to the screen, and the count holds at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on for the Dolphins. And Agostini is ready. And the 2-2 pitch is a slow breaking pitch, blooped over to third base, and a nice leaping catch by Mcguire for the final out of the inning. So Coangelo hits the ball hard, but Mcguire is able to make the play for the third out. For the Dolphins in their half of the first, no runs, a hit, a walk, 2 left, 1 in the books, no score. We'll step aside, take a break. You're watching women's softball coverage on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the top half of the second inning. The Dolphins were able to put 2 runners on with just 1 out, but Vanessa Joya popped to short, and Coangelo lined out to third, so the Dolphins leave 2 on in their half of the first inning. So now we'll head to the top half of the second. It'll be Agostini, Bayer, and Budner. It'll be Grotner, Agostini, and Bayer for the Rangers here. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters against Jackie Cortella. Cortella retired the Rangers in order in their half of the first inning and gets ahead of Grotsky. First pitch taken for a strike, 0-1. The wind and the pitch. That time Cortella took a little bit off it. Grotsky out in front of it and falls behind in the count now, 0-2. Grotzky batting just 187 on the year, 14 of 75 with 7 RBIs as she swings, hits that slowly back to the mound, played there by Cortella. She'll get it over to Trapani in time for the first out. So Grotzky bounds out to the mound for the first out, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Emma Agostini. Agostini coming in, the second leading batter for the Rangers, batting .361 on the year as she swings and misses at the first pitch and falls behind 0-1. And with 13 of 36, 3 doubles and 8 RBIs. And that pitch is lined right at the second baseman, Galbo. So Agostini hit that one hard, but right at Galbo, 2 up, 2 down quickly here for the Rangers. And it's going to bring up the third baseman, Mcguire. Mcguire struggling a little bit from the plate here this year, just 6 hits and 39 at-bats. She does have one of the 3 Ranger home runs and 3 RBIs. As that pitch is fouled back to the screen, out of play, and Cortella now even in the count at 1-1. Katella looking in. She's ready. The 1-1. Low and outside for a ball. 2-1. Today and Sunday will end the regular season here for the Dolphins as that's foul back to the screen, and that'll even the count up at 2-2. FDU Florham, the one remaining game on the regular season schedule for the Dolphins, before they'll participate in the CUNYAC tournament beginning next Thursday with the semifinals right here at the CSI softball complex. As that one's blooped into short right field, and that's going to be in for a base hit. So Bayer hitting that one the opposite way down the first base line. It was over the head of Trapani, and Galbo could not get there in time, so it'll be a 2-out single for Bayer, the first hit for the Rangers here this afternoon. And that's going to bring up the first baseman, Bethany Budner. Budner batting .314 on the year with no home runs and 7 RBIs. Cortello winds. The first pitch is on the outside corner at the knees for a strike, 0-1. Cortello looking in for the sign. And the pitch, a swing and a miss. Cortello now gets ahead in the count at 1-2. Cortello looking in. She's ready. The 1-2 is swung on and foul back over the Ranger dugout and out of play. And the count will hold at 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to count. And the pitch is down low for a ball. That'll even the count up at 2-2. The wind and the pitch is a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Cortella able to get Budner on strikes for the third out here in the second. The first strikeout of the afternoon for Jackie Cortella. For the Rangers in their half of the second. No runs, a hit, 1 left. No score here at the CSI softball complex. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the bottom half of the second inning. The Dolphins left 2 runners on in their half of the first inning, and it will be 6, 7, and 8 for the Dolphins here in the second. Ashley Taro, Jamie Holmes, and Nicola Trapani as they will come in to bat against Emma Agostini. Agostini did a nice job coming back after allowing 2 Dolphins on with just 1 out to escape trouble, and now she'll look to come out here in the second against Notaro as that first pitch is swung and grounded towards second base. A nice play that time by Grotsky, gets it over to Budner in time for the out. So Notaro grounds out 4-3. First pitch swinging in the bottom half of the second inning for the Dolphins, and that's going to bring up the catcher, number 14, Jamie Holmes. Holmes coming in, has our average now up to 297 on the year, leads the team in home runs with 5. We mentioned earlier Jamie had a home run in that doubleheader against New Jersey City University. She had a very good doubleheader for the Dolphins. And she went 3 for 4 in game number one and 2 for 4 in game number 2. So 5 hits on the afternoon for Holmes, including that home run. And she's ahead in the count 2-0. And that pitch is swung on and blooped out behind second base. Grotsky's there, and she makes the catch for the second out. So 2 up, 2 down quickly here for the Dolphins in their half of the second. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Nicola Trapani. Trapani coming in batting .207 on the year, 12 of 58, 2 doubles, a triple, and 5 RBIs. The wind and the first pitch is swung on and blooped into short center field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. So that time Trapani bloops one into center field. Adams could not get there in time. It'll be a 2-out single for Trapani, the second hit of the afternoon for the Dolphins, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Juliana Katella. Katella really playing a very strong right field defensively for the Dolphins. In addition to that, she's batting .311 on the year. As she swings it, she bloops that one into center field, and this time Adam comes in, and she makes the catch, a nice diving catch for the final out of the inning. So Cortello bloops that one into short center field, but Adams makes the catch for the final out. So for the Dolphins in their half of the second inning, no runs, a hit, 1 left, 2 complete in the books, no score. We'll step aside and take a break. You're watching the home of CUNY Softball Championship coverage, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're getting ready now for the top half of the third inning. No score between the Dolphins and Rangers. A nice sliding catch by Brooke Adams to retire Juliana Katella for the final out of the inning, and it'll be 8, 9, and 1 for the Rangers here in their half of the third inning. Laura Mastro Piero will lead off. She's down in the count 0-1 and takes that pitch up high for a ball, and that will leave in the count up now at 1-1. Mastro Piero, a .265 batter on the year, 4 doubles, a triple, and 8 RBIs as she swings and fouls that one off down the first base line and out of play. And now Cortello ahead in the count at 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Mastro Piero, leading off in the top half of the third inning as she fouls that one off down the third base line. And the count will hold at 1-2. Just 11 players on the Ranger roster here in 2017 as that one is taken just off the outside corner for a ball, and that'll even the count up at 2-2. Cortello ready, the 2-2, and that's down low for a ball. So Cortello goes 3-2 to the leadoff batter, Mastro Piero, here in the top half of the third inning. Cortello's 3-2 pitch is swung on, popped up in the air, coming over toward the Ranger dugout, but it will fall in between Holmes and Trapani, and Mastro Piero will have a new life with the count still full at 3-2. Cortello looking in for the sign now. And the 3-2 pitch, and that swung on, and that's blooped into right field, but Cortello gets a great jump on the ball and makes the catch for the first out. When that one first left the bat, it looked like it might find some real estate in between the two defenders, but Cortello got a great jump on the ball and made the play easily. 1 up, 1 down for the Rangers, and that will bring up the number 9 hitter, the shortstop, Mcguire. Mcguire batting .260 on the year, and she swings and misses at the first pitch and falls behind in the count, 0-1. Megan 20 of 77 with 2 doubles and 12 RBIs. The wind, the 0-1, and that swung on, and that's blooped into right center field, but this time Angelo will come over and make the catch for the second out, so 2 fly ball outs for the Rangers in the top half of the third inning. 2 out, nobody on, and that will bring up the right fielder, Cara O'Leary. O'Leary fly to center in the first. She's 0-1. The wind, and Cortello's first pitch is down low for a ball, 1-0. Cortello looking in, and the 1-0 right down the middle for a strike. That'll even the count up at 1-1. O'Leary, as that pitch is up high for a ball, gets ahead in the count now at 2-1. Cortello looking in, and the 2-1. And that time O'Leary chased the high fastball, and that's going to even the count up at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes here. And the 2-2 pitch is down low for a ball, 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. And that pitch is swung on and fouled back up over the screen. And the count's going to hold full at 3-2. So once again, O'Leary working the count full. And once again, forcing Cortello to throw a lot of pitches. Cortello ready. The 3-2 is swung on and fouled back, and the count holds full at 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. No one on here for the Rangers in the third. The 3-2 as Cortello takes a little bit off that one, and O'Leary just fouls it back out of play, and the count holds full at 3-2. The wind, the 3-2 is swung on, hit hard to short. Richards plays, guns it over to first base in time for the final out of the inning. So the Rangers go out in order, nothing across in their half of the third. 2.5 innings in the books, no score. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the bottom half of the third inning. Still no score between the Dolphins and the Rangers. Cortello allows just one hit to the Rangers through their first three at-bats. The Dolphins have 2 hits in their first 2 innings, and it'll be back to the top of the order for the Dolphins in the third. Cortello, Galbo, and Riches, 1, 2, and 3 for the Dolphins. And the wind and the first pitch by Agostini is taken for a ball, 1-0. So Katella hasn't seen a strike yet as she walked on 4 pitches leading off the game. The wind and the pitch is down low for a ball, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch is swung on, grounded over toward shortstop. It's played and bobbled by Mcguire, and that's going to allow Cortello to reach first base, and that's going to be scored an error on the shortstop, Megan Mcguire, and that will allow the Dolphins to get the leadoff runner on with no one out, and Mcguire tied for the team lead in errors. It has now assumed the team lead. That's her 17th error of the season at shortstop. And that allows Cortello to reach first base for the second time here in this game as Galbo bunts that one towards first base, and playing the ball nicely that time is Budna. She gets it over to Grodna. The sacrifice will be successful, 3-4, and Cortello will go down to second base with 1 out, and that will bring up the shortstop, Patricia Riches. Riches had an infield single in the first. She's 1 for 1. So Cortello in scoring position for the second time this afternoon for the Dolphins. And the first pitch to Riches is outside for a ball, 1-0. Patricia leading the team in several offensive categories, including doubles, triples, RBI, slugging percentage, and on-base percentage. And she takes that one up high for a ball, and the count goes to 2-0. She's also only made 1 error at shortstop the entire season here for the Dolphins. Agostini looking in for the sign. And that pitch is going to be taken for a strike, 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike here. As Rich is batting with a runner in scoring position. And the Dolphins looking to get on the board here for the first time this afternoon. The 2-1 is foul back to the screen. That's going to even the count up at 2-2. Dolphins coming in 28-6 overall in this 2017 season. And Rich is even in the count now with 2-2. To wind the 2-2, and that's going to be down low for a ball. That'll run the count full to 3-2. Vanessa Joya, the left fielder, on deck here for the Dolphins. Agostini in. And here comes the 3-2 pitch, and that's one that's lined right back up the middle. That'll be in for a base hit. Cortello around third. She'll score easily. Patricia Riches has an RBI single to center field. For Patricia, that'll be her 31st RBI of the year, and the Dolphins take a 1-0 lead. So Patricia Riches continuing her phenomenal freshman season, I should say, here for the Dolphins. Picks up her 41st RBI of the year. The Dolphins take a 1-0 lead, and now it'll be Vanessa Joya to bat with 1 out and 1 on for the Dolphins. The first pitch down low for a ball, 1-0. Joya first pitch swinging in the first, popped up to short. She's 0 for 1. Agostini looking in. That pitch is lined into left field, and that's going to be past the lunging buyer into left field for a base hit. So Dolphins starting to zero in on Agostini a little bit more here in the third inning as they get a base hit, their second hit of the inning, and they have runners at first and second, still just one out, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Kristy Coangelo. Coangelo lined up to third base in the first, leaving a couple of runners on. She's 0 for 1. The wind and the first pitch on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. So the Dolphins picking up the first run of the game here in the bottom half of the third inning. Back-to-back singles by Richards and Joya. And Dolphins still in business with first and second, one out, and that pitch is going to be up high for a ball, and that'll even the count up at 1-1. Agostini looking in now. 1-1 the count. And here comes the pitch, and that'll be up high for a ball, 2-1. Designated player Ashley Notaro on deck for the Dolphins. Dolphins coming in having won their last 5 games. As Agostini is ready. The 2-1, and that's going to be down low for a ball. So Agostini now one pitch away from loading up the bases. 3-1 the count with one out. Dolphins already with first and second and a run in. The wind to 3-1 is way high for a ball 4. So the Rangers started off this inning allowing Jackie Cortella to reach on an error. And now a base on balls by Agostini, and the Dolphins have loaded the bases with only one out, and that'll bring up Ashley Notaro. Notaro led off the second and bounced out to second. She's 0 for 1. The wind and the first pitch is going to be taken for a strike, 0-1. Notaro came into the game batting .306, 26 of 85, 2 doubles, a triple, and 20 RBIs. The wind and the 0-1 is swung on and skied into left field. Drifting back on the ball is Master Piero. She makes the catch. Coming in to score on the play will be Patricia Riches. It will be a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Ashley Notaro. And the College of Staten Island now takes a 2-0 lead as both Joya and Coangelo hold on at first and second. So Notaro will pick up her 21st RBI of the year. The Dolphins now lead 2-0, and that'll bring up the catcher, Jamie Holmes, who popped out to second. She's 0 for 1. The wind and the first pitch to Holmes is taken for a strike, 0-1. Jamie leading the team with home runs. She has 5 on the year. The wind and the pitch down low for a ball. That'll even the count up at 1-1. One ball, one strike with 2 outs now. 2 on for the Dolphins. They've scored 2 in the third. The pitch is swung on. That's drilled into right center field, and that's going to be in for a base hit and roll all the way to the wall. 2 runs will score. Holmes will be standing at second base. It's a 2-out, 2-run RBI double for Jamie Holmes, and the College of Staten Island has opened their lead up now to a score of 4-0. So the Dolphins able to take advantage of an error and a base on balls, and Jamie Holmes able to come up and drive home 2 runs. Holmes now picks up her 41st and 42nd RBIs. Her 22nd and 23rd RBIs of the year. And the Dolphins have a 4-0 lead. Holmes still in scoring position with 2 out, and it'll bring up Nicola Trapani. Trapani singled in the second. She's 1 for 1. The wind, the 1-0 to Trapani is swung on, skied up in the air in the infield. The first baseman, Budner, is under it, and she makes the catch for the final out. For the Dolphins, though, 4 runs. They take a 4-0 lead. We'll step aside, take a break. You're watching softball coverage on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're back, and we're getting ready for the top half of the fourth inning. The Dolphins send 8 players to bat in their half of the third inning, take advantage of an error and a base on balls as the Dolphins score 4 runs in their half of the third inning and take a 4-0 lead in the way that Jackie Cortella has been dealing here in 2017, and the way that the Rangers struggle at the dish. A long way to go for the Rangers if they're going to start a comeback here against Cortella here this afternoon. Cortella has gone through the Ranger lineup through the first 3 innings, allowing just 1 base hit at a bloop opposite field single by Mcguire with 2 outs in the second inning. Other than that, she's been perfect here this afternoon, retiring 9 out of 10 batters with 1 strikeout through 3 innings. And here in the fourth inning, it's going to be Adams, Cheney, and Grodzki, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters against Jackie Cortella. So here we go, and the first pitch is swung on and line foul down the first baseline out of play, and the count goes to 0-1. Cortella now coming out in the fourth with a 4-run lead as that one is going to be swung on and blooped down the right field line, but just foul. Adams almost put that one in the same place that Bayer did, but this one lands just a little bit foul as Adams went the other way, but fouled it off and is now down in the count at 0-2. CSI Dolphins clinch the regular season CUNYAC championship as that ball is grounded foul and the count holds at 0-2. Dolphins finishing the season with an overall record of 12-0. Hunter College coming in second with a 10-2 record. Lehman in third at 7-5. John Jay is 5-5. They have a 1-game lead on Baruch, but those two teams have a doubleheader to play against each other, so they could possibly flip around. Baruch at 4-6, Brooklyn at 2-10, and York College finishing with an 0-12 record as that pitch is up high for a ball, and that's going to even the count up at 2-2. So Adams able to battle back in the count after falling behind 0-2. The wind, the 2-2 pitch, and that's going to be up high for a ball, 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, the 3-2. Bounce back to the mound. Played on a hop by Cortella. Over to Trapani in time for the first out. 1 up, 1 down for the Rangers here in the fourth. And that was the third good play by Cortella in the infield. She has 3 assists already in the afternoon. And, you know, in softball, certainly fielding your position really helps. She did a nice job fielding the bunt by Adams and made a couple of nice plays on Grodzki and again on Adams. So 3 assists for Katella. And the first pitch to Cheney is going to be taken for a ball 1-0. Heather fly to right in the first. She's 0 for 1. The pitch is swung on and bounced foul. That'll even the count up at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out here. We're in the top half of the fourth inning, and the Dolphins lead 4-0. Swung on, bounced slowly to third. Played there by Ma. She gets it over to Trapani in time for the second out. As that time, Nicola forgot how many outs there were, and there's only 2, so 1 more to go. As that Cheney will ground out 5-3 for the second out, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Katie Grodzki. Grodzki bounced back to the mound in the second. She's 0 for 1. And the first pitch, Cortella takes something off it and gets ahead in the count now, 0-1. The wind and the pitch swung on nub foul. Cortella quickly ahead in the count now at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Down low for a ball, 1-2. Jackie Cortella, one of the top pitchers in the nation here in 2017. 13-2 with a .66 ERA. And that pitch is skied up in the air in the infield. Trapani is there in foul territory. She makes the catch for the final out in the inning. So 7 in a row now retired by Jacqueline Cortella. Nothing across for the Rangers in their half of the fourth inning. The Dolphins lead by a score 4-0. We'll step aside, take a break. You're watching women's softball coverage right here on your voice for everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're back, and the Dolphins sent 8 batters to bat in their half of the third inning as they were able to score 4 runs, all unearned, as we're informed by official scorer Dave Pizzuto, as they are able to take a 4-0 lead. But that big error allowed Jackie Cortella to reach first base, and then the sacrifice fly by Taro would have been the third out. So Dolphins with 4 runs, all unearned, but they all count. So it'll be Cortella, and Galbo, 9-1-2, scheduled for the Dolphins here in the fourth. They lead 4-0 as Agostini ready, and her first pitch is swung on and blooped up in the air, coming in and going back on the ball and making a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch is Katie Grotzky, the second baseman, for the first out. So a nice defensive play as first Katella was robbed in center field on a sliding catch by Brooke Adams, and that time Grotzky doing a nice job going back on the ball, making an over-the-shoulder catch. So Katella is now 0 for 2, and Jackie Cortella will be the batter. Cortella's reached twice on an error and a walk. She's 0 for 1 and scored the first Dolphin run in the third and takes that one up high for a ball, 1-0. One ball, no strikes on Cortella. And the pitch is swung. That's lined into left field. That'll be in for a base hit. Coming on and playing the ball on a couple of hops will be Maestro Piero. Jackie Cortella has her first hit of the afternoon, the 6th hit of the day for the Dolphins. She's on first base with 1 out. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Antoinette Galbo. Galbo struck out and sacrificed. She's 0 for 1. The wind and the first pitch to Galbo is taken up high for a ball, 1-0. Antoinette came into the game this afternoon batting at just 400. The 0 for 1 will take her just under that, but having a phenomenal year for the Dolphins, both at the bat and in the field. The 1-0 to Galbo, way up high for a ball, 2-0. Dolphins with 28 wins on the year coming into today's game. And the 2-0 is way outside for a ball, 3-0. So 3 balls, no strikes, 1 out and a runner on first base for the Dolphins. The 3-0 count is taken for a strike, 3-1. .31 is the all-time record in wins for the Dolphins. Another record that the Dolphins are challenging as Galbo fouls that one off, and the count now runs full to 3-2. Dolphins with 28 wins already on the year. They won their 31 games in that 2015 season in which they were 31-12. But that could be another record to get shattered here in 2017 as the pitch to Galbo as she swings and misses, strike 3. So So Antoinette goes down on strikes for the second time this afternoon. Agostini has 2 strikeouts, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Patricia Riches. Riches is 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored for the Dolphins here this afternoon. The RBI for Patricia was her 41st of the season. And the pitch to Riches is driven deep to left field, and that one is way out of here. A long 2-run blast by Patricia Riches as she hits her 5th home run of the season. A no doubt about it blast, and the College of Staten Island opens up their lead to 6-0. So Patricia Riches comes up and takes that pitch and drills it deep over the left field wall. That one was gone right off the bat. That will tie Jamie Holmes with home runs with 5 on the year. And Patricia now picks up her 42nd and 43rd RBIs of the season. She has 3 RBIs on the afternoon. She's now 3 for 3 on the afternoon, and the Dolphins lead by a score of 6-0. And the left fielder, Vanessa Joya, will be the batter. And that first pitch is down low for a ball, 1-0. Dolphins showing tremendous power here in this 2017 season. That's going to be their 20th home run of the year. As that pitch is taken down low for a ball, and now Joya heading the count at 2-0. And one of the things you got to do with this Dolphin team in 2017 is keep the record book handy, because we're constantly referring to it as the Dolphins blowing through batting records. As Joya's going to take that one down low for a ball, and that'll run the count now to 3-0. Three balls, no strikes to count, and that's going to be taken for a strike, 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike now on Joya. And that pitch is swung and grounded towards second base. It's going to be played there by the second baseman, Grotsky, and she gets it over to first base in time for the final out of the inning, but not before the Dolphins add another couple of runs on the long Patricia Riches home run. 2 runs, 2 hits, nobody left. We've played 4 here at the CSI Softball Complex. Dolphins lead 6-0. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back, and we're getting ready for the top half of the 5th inning. The Dolphins lead by a score of 6-0, and we have a defensive substitution for the Dolphins as Vanessa Joya will come out of the game, and coming in to play left field for the Dolphins will be Christina Severicio as the first pitch is swung on and lined to Trapani for the out. So Agostini, 1 pitch lines out to Trapani, 1 up, 1 down, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Mcguire. So an interesting substitution for the Dolphins as Severicio comes into the game and will replace Joya in left. Severicio in left now for the Dolphins And that pitch is going to be taken for a ball, and that'll even the count up at 1-1. Cortello has now retired 8 in a row. Has allowed just one hit as that's hit slowly towards second. Galbo comes in quickly and gets it over to first base in time for the second out here in the 5th inning. So 2 up, 2 down for the Rangers on 3 pitches, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Brittany Budner. Budner struck out in the second. She's 0 for 1. The wind and the first pitch is a swing and a miss, 0-1. 0-1-1 for the Rangers, but that was a big error that allowed Jackie Cortello to reach base. In the inning, the Dolphins scored their first 4 runs of the game, all 4 runs unearned. But that gave the Dolphins a 4-0 lead, and then they added 2 more on the long home run by Patricia Riches. The 1-1 is going to be down low for a ball, and Cortello falls behind in the count now at 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, and the pitch is swing and a miss, and Cortello fights her way back to even up the count now at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on, and that pitch is swung on, and that's drilled into right center field, and that's going to be in for a base hit and roll all the way to the wall. Angelo comes over and plays it into Galbo. It's going to be a 2-out extra base hit for Bethany Budner, and the Rangers have a runner in scoring position for the first time this afternoon with 2 out, and it's going to bring up the left field, Lauren Mastro Piero, fly to right in the 3rd. She's 0 for 1. Second hit of the afternoon for the Rangers, and the first pitch is going to be taken down low for a ball, 1-0. Cortello winds the 1-0, down low for a ball, and now Cortello falls behind in the count at 2-0. Cortello ready, the 2-0, outside for a ball, 3-0, so Jackie missing the plate and falling behind Mastro Piero, 3-0. The 3-0 way up high for a ball 4. So Cortella not close on those 4 pitches, had an open base, walks Mastro Piero. She has 2 base runners on for the first time here this afternoon. It's going to be the first walk of the game allowed this afternoon by Cortella, and with 2 out and 2 on, it'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Megan Mcguire. Mcguire 0 for 1, she flied to center. And Cortella's first pitch on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. So Cortella ahead now 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch is a swing and a miss, so Cortella quickly gets ahead of Mcguire, 0-2. First of 2 here this afternoon. Dolphins coming in with a 5-game winning streak. And the 0-2 by Cortella just down low for a ball, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on, top of the 5th. 6-0 Dolphins. The 1-2 outside for a ball, and that's going to run the count even to 2-2. Cortella looking in for the sign. The 2-2 is swung on and popped back up over our heads out of play, and the count will hold at 2-2. Cortella looking in for the sign. And the 2-2 fouled up over our heads once again, so Mcguire doing a nice job battling Cortella here. And the count holds even at 2-2. So a little bit of a break in the game here. We need a couple more softballs for the home plate umpire, and then we'll be back underway with the count even at 2-2. with 2 out here. And we're in the top half of the 5th inning. The Dolphins leading by a score of 6-0. Jackie Cortella out on the mound for the Dolphins. She has 5 shutouts on the season. And working even in the count now at 2-2. And the 2-2 is swung on, and that's blooped it to short left field, and that's going to be in for a base hit. Cortello comes in quickly, tries to get it over to first base, but Mcguire is going to bloop a single down the right field line, and the Rangers now threatening. They have the bases loaded with 2 outs here. Cortello retired the first 2 quickly on 4 pitches, but it's been a double, a walk, and a bloop single to load the bases, and that's going to bring up the right field to Cara O'Leary, and O'Leary's had 2 very good at-bats against Cortello here this afternoon, working the count full both times and fouling off a couple of pitches before going 0 for 2, flying to center and grounding to short. So big moment in the game here for the Rangers and the Dolphins, an opportunity for the Rangers to get right back in this one. Trailing by a score of 6-0, but they've loaded the bases on a couple of hits and a walk with 2 outs here in the 5th. Cortello looking in, and the first pitch is taken up high for a ball, 1-0. Cortello was cruising, and the pitch is on the outside corner for a strike, and that'll even the count up at 1-1. Jackie had retired 9 in a row before allowing that opposite field double to Budner. Since then, it's been a walk and a bloop single, as now O'Leary swings and lashes that one foul up over the Dolphin dugout and out of play, and the count now goes to 1-2. Rangers with 3 hits this afternoon have loaded the bases with 2 outs. Cortello looking in for the sign, and the 1-2 just outside for a ball. That'll even the count up now at 2-2. Cortello ready. The 2-2 is swung and hit slowly towards short. It's going to be played there by Riches. The gun over to first base in time for the final out of the inning. So the Rangers threaten. They load the bases with 2 out, but do not score. No runs, 2 hits, a walk, 3 left. 4.5 innings in the books. The Dolphins lead by a score of 6-0. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back, and we're getting ready for the bottom half of the 5th inning, and the Rangers got their first runners in scoring position in the afternoon in the top half of the 5th inning as Bethany Budner hit a 2-out opposite field double. Then Lauren Master Piero walked on 4 pitches, and then Megan Mcguire hit an opposite field single down the right field line to load the bases with 2 out, but Cara O'Leary grounded out to Richie's at short, so the Rangers threaten but do not score. And it'll be the Dolphins' turn to bat here in their half of the 5th inning. Kristy, Angelo, Ashley Taro, and Jamie Holmes, the batters for the Dolphins. They lead by a score of 6-0. 1-0 the count on Angelo. She walked in line to third. She's 0 for 1. The wind and the pitch. And that's going to run the count to 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. And the 2-0 is up high for a ball, 3-0. So 3 balls, no strikes here on Angelo, leading off the 5th for the Dolphins. And the 3-0 way up high for a ball 4. So Angelo will draw the base on balls for the Dolphins. That's going to be the 4th walk of the afternoon allowed by Agostini, and that will put the game-winning run at the plate in Ashley Taro. Taro grounded to second and hit a sacrifice fly and drove in a run. She's 0 for 1. As that pitch is bunted in front of the plate, played there nicely that time by the catcher Cheney, and she gets it over to first base in time for the out. So sacrifice, and the sacrifice will be scored 2-3. Going to second base will be Angelo, and that will bring up Jamie Holmes. Holmes doubled in 2 runs in the 3rd. She's 1 for 2. The wind and the pitch is swung on and fouled off down the right field line out of play, and the count goes to 0-1. Dolphins with 7 hits this afternoon. They've made the most out of it. They've scored 6 runs and lead 6-0. The pitch is outside for a ball. That'll even the count up at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Agostini ready. The pitch is swung on, and that's drilled into right field, going back on the ball and making the play in right field will be O'Leary. So that time Holmes hit that one as hard as you could, but right at the right fielder who made the catch. Angelo will tag and go to third. So 2 outs now, and we're going to have a pinch hitter as Nicole Malak will come in and bat for Nicola Trapani. So Trapani will come out of the game. Nicole Malak will come in, and that's making me think that Nicola Trapani will be the starting pitcher in game number 2 here for the Dolphins. As I see her heading out into the bullpen, so she'll probably start game number 2. And Nicole Malak will get an opportunity to bat, with the Dolphins leading by a score of 6-0 here in the 5th. Agostini ready. The pitch popped up in the air on the first pitch. Coming over and making the catch in foul territory will be the pitcher Agostini for the final out of the inning. So the Dolphins threaten but do not score. No runs, a walk, 1 left, 5 in the books, 6-0 Dolphins lead. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. So there'll be a couple of defensive substitutions here for the Dolphins, or a couple of changes, I should say. Nicola Trapani was pinch hit for by Nicole Malak in the bottom half of the 5th inning. So now Nicole will move out, and she'll play left field. Christina Severizio, who was playing left field after she came in to replace Vanessa Joya, will go over into first base. So it'll be Severizio at first, Malak now in left field, and for the Rangers here in their half of the sixth inning, it'll be 2, 3, and 4, Adams, Roncini, and Grodzki against Jackie Cortella, and Adams takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Adams 0 for 2. She bunted back to Katella and grounded back to Cortella in her first 2 at-bats and takes that one on the outside corner at the knees for a strike, 1-1. Cortella winds the 1-1, swung grounded to its second. Galbo plays over to Severizio in time for the out. So 1 up, 1 down for the Rangers in their half of the sixth inning. It'll bring up the catcher, Heather Roncini. Roncini 0 for 2. Fly to right, grounded to third. Ronchi 0 for 2, as we mentioned here this afternoon, and takes that first pitch for a strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. The pitch is swung, that's drilled into right field. Katella going back, way back, and she makes the catch for the second out here in the sixth inning. So that time Ronchi hit the ball hard, but once again, a nice defensive play by Juliana Katella. She got a good jump on the ball and made it look easy for the second out, and that was not an easy play. So 2 up, 2 down, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Katie Grodzki. Grodzki 0 for 2, grounded back to Katella and fouled out to first. The 1-0, foul back to the screen. That'll even the count up at 1-1. 2 up, 2 down quickly here for the Rangers in their half of the sixth inning as Katella winds the 1-1, swung, grounded to short. Riches is there, gets it over to first base in time for the final out of the inning. So Cortello retires the side quickly in the Rangers' half of the sixth inning. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. We've now played 5.5 innings of play. Dolphins 6, Rangers nothing. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the bottom half of the sixth inning. 6-7-0 for the Dolphins, 0-3-1 for the Rangers, and that one was a big one because it was a leadoff error with Jackie Cortella leading off the third inning, and that opened the door for 4 unearned runs for the Dolphins in the third inning. The couple of big blows in that inning, the 2-out 2-run double by Jamie Holmes and the sacrifice fly by Ashley Taro after Patricia Riches brought home the first run of the afternoon. And then in the fourth, it was Jackie Cortella getting on with a 1-out single. And then with 2 outs, Patricia Riches launched a ball deep over the left field wall. No doubt about it, 2-run homer. Patricia's 5th home run of the year, and that's where we are now. The Dolphins leading by a score of 6-0 as we head into the bottom half of the sixth inning. It'll be Julia Cortella, Jackie Cortella, and Antoinette Galbo. 1, 2, and 3 as Juliana will lead off here. She's 0 for 2 this afternoon. Plays by the Rangers, and there's another one as she hits that one back to the mound. A nice play that time by Agostini to grab the ball and get it over to first base. 1 pitch, 1 out for the Dolphins in their half of the sixth inning, and that's going to bring up the pitcher, Jacqueline Cortello. Cortella's been on base all 3 times here in game number 1. Walked, reached on an error, and singled. And the first pitch to Cortella is going to be fouled off, out of play, and the count goes to 0-1. Cortello has 2 runs scored on the afternoon for the Dolphins as well, as Jackie leading the team in runs scored. She now has 45 runs scored on the year. That pitch is going to be taken, and that's going to even the count up at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to count, and the pitch up high for a ball, 2-1. If the Rangers can hold the Dolphins to only a run or less here in the 6th, they'll have a chance to bat in the 7th. Agostini, Mcguire, and Budna, the scheduled batters, as that's a 1 hopper to third. Nice play that time by Mcguire as she gets it over to Budna in time for the out. So 2 up, 2 down quickly for the Dolphins in their half of the 6th inning, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Antoinette Galbo. Galbo struck out twice, but in between sacrificed Jackie Cortella over to second base. That helped the Dolphins score the first run of the afternoon on the RBI single by Patricia Riches. And the first pitch to Galbo was down low for a ball, 1-0. One ball, no strikes to count. With 2 out, and that pitch is going to be down low for a ball, 2-0. Jackie Cortella now 3 outs away from her 14th win of the season for the Dolphins, as she continues her phenomenal pitching here in this 2017 season. The 2-0 to Galbo, way down low for a ball, 3-0. So 3 balls, no strikes to count. The 3-0 way up high for a ball 4. So Galbo will draw the base on balls with 2 outs, and that's going to bring up the hitting star of the afternoon for the Dolphins, Patricia Riches. Riches 3 for 3 on the afternoon. 2 singles, a home run, 2 runs scored, and 3 RBIs. Another phenomenal day at the plate for Patricia Riches, who now has her average up well over 560. Agostini looking in for the sign. And the first pitch is way up high for a ball, 1-0. And the throw down to second will not be in time as Galbo in safely. She will steal second base. And for Antoinette Galbo, that's going to be her 9th stolen base in 11 attempts. She leads the Dolphins in stolen bases here this year. And the Dolphins are now 38 of 42 in stolen bases, a phenomenal stolen base percentage. Only been thrown out 4 times this year. The 1-0 to Riches on the outside corner at the knees for a strike. That'll even the count up at 1-1. At the conclusion of game number 1, we'll be off the air for 15-20 minutes or so, but then we'll be back to bring you game number 2 of this doubleheader between the Dolphins and the Rangers. The 1-1 to Riches, swung on, grounded towards short. Mcguire plays, gets it over to Budna in time for the final out of the inning. So for the first time this afternoon, the Rangers are able to retire Patricia Riches. For the Dolphins, no runs, a walk, 1 left, 6 complete in the books. Last chance for the Rangers coming up in game number 1 with the score. Dolphins 6, Rangers nothing. We'll step aside and take a break. You're listening to your home of the CUNY Softball Championships, CNN Sportsnet, CNN, CSIDolphins.com. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the top half of the seventh inning. Last chance for the Rangers as they trail by a score of 6-0. Jackie Cortella has held the Rangers scoreless on just 3 base hits so far through 6 innings. As that first pitch is going to be swung on and drilled to right field. Cortella gets the ball over to first base, but not in time, so it'll be a leadoff opposite field single by Emma Agostini. So she'll be at first base with the 4th Ranger hit of the afternoon. So with 1 out and a runner at first base, it'll bring up the third baseman, Mcguire. Mcguire has 1 of the 4 hits for the Rangers this afternoon. She's 1 for 2, and that pitch is bunted back towards first base, played there by Cortella. She will get it over to Galbo in time for the out. I'm not sure if they'll score that a sacrifice or not. We'll look down. It'll be a sacrifice, and the score will be 1-4. For the first out, and Agostini will go down to second base, and that'll bring up Bethany Budner with a runner at second base and 1 out, and Budner takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Budner, the only extra base hit against Cortella here this afternoon. She doubled with 2 out in the 5th. She also struck out. She's 1 for 2 and swings and misses at that pitch, and that'll even the count up at 1-1. The 1-1 is down low for a ball, 2-1. Dolphins looking to win their 6th in a row and their 29th game of the year as that pitch is fouled back, and that'll even the count up at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on for the Rangers here in the 7th. The 2-2 is rolled up to the plate, and the ball gets past Holmes and rolls to the screen. That'll be a wild pitch. That'll allow Agostini to go down to third base, and that'll run the count full to Budner at 3-1. Or 3-2, I should say. The 3-2 swung, grounded to third, played there by Galbo. For some reason, she tries to come home. Just a terrible decision that time. It'll be a fielder's choice and an RBI for Budner as she will go down to first base, as it was really just an easy play at first base to get the second out of the game and put the Dolphins 1 out away. Instead, Galbo chose to try to throw the ball out to the plate as Agostini scored easily, and that's going to be a strike on Mastro Piero, and she falls behind in the count now, 0-1. She's 0 for 1, walked and fly to right. The pitch is swung, skied up in the air into right field. Katella is there, and she makes the catch for the second out of the inning, so now the Rangers are down to their final out, and it'll be the shortstop, Mcguire. Mcguire 1 for 2 this afternoon. 6-1 the score. As Cortello loses her shutout here in the 7th, but is now 2 strikes away from her 14th win as she gets ahead of Mcguire in the count now, 0-1. Cortello winds the 0-1, is fouled back to the screen, and the Rangers are down to their final strike. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 on for the Rangers. They have 1 run here in the 7th, and they trail by a score of 6-1. The wind and the pitch is up high for a ball, and that'll run the count now to 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. So Jackie Cortella comes back to strike out Mcguire to get the final out of the inning and pick up her 14th win of the year for the Rangers in their half of the 7th. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left. The Dolphins win by a final score of 6-1. Jackie Cortella ups her record to 14-2. The Dolphins' winning streak goes to 6 as they up their record to 29-6. So the Dolphins win the first game by a final score of 6-1. What we're going to do is step aside. We're going to take a break for a few minutes, and then we'll be back to get you ready and recap game number 1 and get you ready for game number 2 as the Dolphins win their 29th game of the year and their 6th in a row as they defeat the Rangers by a final score of 6-1. So for Meshach Alexander and Mike Babuski, we're saying so long, but don't go far. Stay tuned right there. We'll be back in about 20 minutes or so to get you ready for game number 2 as the College of Staten Island will face Drew University and look to win their 30th game of the regular season. Stay tuned, everybody, and we'll be right back. Live from the softball complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island, you're listening to Game 2 doubleheader coverage of women's softball right here on CSI Sportsnet. The College of Staten Island, coming off of a 6-1 win against Drew University, will look to extend their winning streak to 7 here in game number 2 as Nicola Trapani will get the start for the Dolphins, and she will face Bethany Butner in game number 2. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Babuski, and the College of Staten Island came out in game number 1. Were able to take advantage of 4 unearned runs in the third inning, and they went on to win by a final score of 6-1. Big afternoon for Patricia Riches in game number 1. Riches went 3 for 4. Scored 2 runs, had a home run, and 3 RBIs for the Dolphins. And Jackie Cortella pitched a 4-hit, 1-run game. Cortella allowing just 1 run in the game, and that in the 7th inning, as she cruises to her 14th win of the season, and the Dolphins up their record to 29-6 overall and win their 6th consecutive game and up their record, as we say, to 29-6, the all-time win record for the Dolphins. As we mentioned, in 2015, they went 31-12, and the Dolphins, with a victory here today, could win 30 games in the regular season for the first time in their history, as the College of Staten Island continues to play record-breaking softball in so many different areas. Nicola Trapani will be on the mound in game number 2 for the Dolphins. The Dolphins just coming out and taking the field right now. And why the Dolphins are taking the why don't we bring you the starting lineup here that Nicolette will face in game number 2. In right field, leading off, it'll be Clara O'Leary. Brooke Adams in center field, she'll bat second. Heather Roccini will be catching, she'll bat third. Katie Grotsky at second, batting fourth. Emma Agostini will be at first base, she'll bat fifth. Megan Byer will be at third base, she'll bat sixth. Bethany Budner will be pitching, she'll bat seventh. Laura Mastro Piero will be in left field, she'll bat eighth. And batting ninth and playing shortstop will be Megan Mcguire. So the Rangers coming out with the same lineup in game number 2 as they used in game number 1. The only difference in the starting lineup is Bethany Budner will move from first base to the mound, and Emma Agostini will go from the pitching circle to first base. For the Dolphins here in game number 2, it'll be Nicolette Trapani on the mound. For the Dolphins, we'll get you Nicolette's numbers here in just a minute. They are outstanding for 2017. But first, it'll be Cara O'Leary to lead off here for the Rangers. Cara 0 for 3 in game number 1. And she will step in and she will face Nicolette Trapani. The wind and the first pitch is going to be taken high for a ball, 1-0. Jamie Holmes at first base for the Dolphins in game number 2. Jackie Cortello will be at second. Patricia Richards at short. Antoinette Galbo will be around at third, as that pitch is going to be taken for a strike. That'll even the count up at 1-1. Christina Severizio will start in center field for game number 2 for the Dolphins. Kristy Coangelo will be in center, and Juliana Katella will be around in right. As that time, an off-speed pitch by Trapani has O'Leary way out in front, and she falls behind in the count at 1-2. Vanessa Joya will move from left to behind the plate in game number 2, and Nicola Trapani will be on the mound here for the Dolphins, as that pitch will be up high for a ball, and that'll run the count even to 2-2. Nicolette, as we mentioned, having a fantastic year, 9-3 for the Dolphins, a 1.09 ERA. And we'll get you her pitching numbers here, and they are excellent, as that pitch is just outside for a ball, and O'Leary works the count full to 3-2. This will be Nicolette's 13th appearance, all starts. She has 7 complete games. The 3-2 pitch is up high for a ball 4, so O'Leary will draw a base on balls, and a good start for the Rangers here in game number 2. Trapani in 64 innings has allowed just 47 hits, 19 runs, 10 earned. She had walked only 10 before walking the leadoff batter and struck out 46 opposing batters, batting just 200 against Trapani as the first pitch is taken up high for a ball, 1-0, is The center fielder, Brooke Adams, will be the batter now for the Rangers. As Trapani getting herself in a little bit of trouble, starting with the leadoff base on balls. Trapani ready. The pitch is swung on and fouled back as the sacrifice was taken off. And Adams fouled that one back to the screen to even the count up at 1-1. Brooke 0 for 3 in game number 1 for the Rangers. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. The pitch is bunted right back in front of the mound. It's going to be played by Joya, but it will be in foul territory. So now Trapani gets ahead in the count 1-2. So a decision for the Rangers here with the count 1-2 early in the game. You'd expect head coach Charlotte Labatt to take off the sacrifice and allow her number 2 hitter to swing away. The 1-2 just inside for a ball. A close pitch that time by Trapani, but a little bit inside, and that'll even the count up at 2-2. Lights are on here at the CSI Softball Complex. Dolphins starting to heat up again as that pitch is swung on in nub foul, and the count will hold at 2-2. Dolphins have now won 6 in a row. Have not lost since game 1 at Moravian. And have extended their record to 29-6. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and hit hard towards second. Just one place for Cortello to go, and that will be to first base. So Adams doesn't get credit for the sacrifice, but she is successful in advancing the runner over to second base with just 1 out. So 2 opportunities for the Rangers to try to take the lead for the first time this afternoon. And Heather Rachi, the catcher, will be the batter. Heather went 0 for 3 in game number 1. And she bats now with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. And the first pitch is on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Rachi, the leading hitter on the Rangers, came into this doubleheader batting .367. But 0 for 3 so far this afternoon, and that one's going to be lined to Cortella. But O'Leary not that far off the base, gets back easy. So Ranchi hit that ball hard, but right at Jackie Cortella for the second out. So now with 2 outs and a runner on second base, it'll take a two-out hit by Katie Grotsky if the Rangers are going to get on the board here in the top of the first. The wind and the first pitch to Grotsky is up high for a ball, 1-0. Katie went 0 for 3 in game number 1 as Cortella held the top of the Ranger lineup, their top 4 batters, the 0 for 12 in game number 1. And that pitch is going to be a swing and a miss by Grotsky. And now Trapani even in the count at 1-1. The 1-1 by Trapani is popped up in the air right in front of the plate. Holmes is there, and she makes the catch for the final out of the inning. So the Rangers able to get a leadoff walk, get O'Leary down to second base with 1 out, but that's all the damage they could do. No runs, no hits, a walk, 1 left, a half inning in the books, no score. Dolphins and Rangers will step aside, take a break. You're watching women's softball coverage right here on your home of the 2017 CUNYAC Women's Softball Championships, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the bottom half of the first inning. The Rangers got a leadoff base on balls to Cara O'Leary, but they could get her no further than second base. So it will now be the Dolphins' opportunity to bat here, as Bethany Budner will be the pitcher, and we'll get you the starting lineups here for the Dolphins in just a minute. As the first pitch to Cortello is outside for a ball, 1-0 for the Dolphins here in game number 2. Jackie Cortello will lead off. Antoinette Galbo will bat second. Patricia Riches will bat third. Vanessa Joya will bat fourth. As Cortello swings, it hits that one hard under the glove of the shortstop Mcguire and into left center field, and it's going to roll all the way to the wall. So Cortello will end up standing on second base on what was really just a ground ball to the shortstop, and it's going to be scored a single and an error. So a single and an error will put the Cortello at second base, and that'll bring up Antoinette Galbo. Galbo will go from second to third here in game number 2. Ashley Taro will bat 6th. Jamie Holmes will bat 7th. Nicola Trapani so Galbo the batter, and the pitch is going to be inside for a ball, and that's going to run the count to 2-0. So Jamie Holmes will play first and bat 7th. Christina Severicio will play left field, bat 8th. Juliana Quintella will play right field and bat 9th. And Nicola Trapani on the mound for the Dolphins, as now Antoinette Galbo gets in the head in the count now, 3-0. Let's get you Bethany Budner's pitching numbers here for the Rangers. As that pitch is swung on and popped up in the air toward the Dolphin dugout and just out of play. So Galbo gets the green light at 3-0, fouls it off, and the count goes to 3-1. Bethany Budner coming in with a record of 2-7 on the year. This is her 11th appearance, 10 starts. In 47 in the third inning, she's allowed 83 hits, 53 runs, 41 earned, walked 7, and struck out 20 for the Rangers. As that pitch is swung and grounded hard back to the mound, Budner picks it up, but will not be able to make a play on the ball, as that time Galbo hit that one hard right back up the middle. A nice play by Budner to get her glove on it and knock it down, but it's going to be scored an infield single, and now the Dolphins have runners on first and third on 2 ground balls here in the bottom half of the first inning. So Patricia Riches will be the batter. Riches, the hitting star in game number 1 for the Dolphins. 3 for 4, a homer and 3 RBIs. The wind and the pitch is swung on. First pitch swinging, blooped towards short right field, and going back on the ball is the second baseman Grotsky, and she makes the catch for the first out. So Riches pops out for the first out. Katella holds at third base, so that'll bring up Vanessa Joya now with runners at first and third, but now 1 out. Joya 1 for 3 in game number 1. As that pitch is going to be swung on, and going into second base on the play will be Antoinette Galbo with the stolen base. As time the Rangers cut the ball off and tried to make sure Cortella did not make it home, but now the Dolphins with 2 runners in scoring position and 1 out. And the pitch to Joya, boy, that was a close pitch, taken for a ball. That'll even the count up at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch to Joya swung on. That's drilled into right center field. That's going to be in for a base hit, and it's going to roll all the way to the wall. 2 runs will score. Joya around second. She's going to head to third. She slides in safely. It's going to be a 1-out, 2-run triple for Vanessa Joya, and the College of Staten Island gets off to a good start here in game number 2 as they take a 2-0 lead. So a couple of plays in the field where the Rangers couldn't make the plays. Dolphins get a couple of hits on ground balls, and Vanessa Joya drives one into right center field all the way to the wall. She picks up 2 RBIs for the Dolphins. Her first 2 RBIs of the afternoon. She now has 26 on the year. The Dolphins lead 2-0. She's on third base with 1 out. Kristy Angelo, the batter, the count even at 1-1. Kristy walked twice and scored a run in game number 1. And she now gets ahead in the count at 2-1. The wind and the pitch, and that's drilled into right field. And coming over and making the catch on the ball will be O'Leary. Joya will come home to score. It'll be a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Kristy Coangelo. And the College of Staten Island now takes a 3-0 lead. So Kristy Coangelo gets her first RBI of the afternoon for the Dolphins. And for Kristy, that's her 26th RBI of the year. And the Dolphins have a 3-0 lead. The wind, the pitch is going to be taken for a strike 0-1 as Ashley Taro, the designated player, the batter now for the Dolphins. Ashley had an RBI in game number 1, and she's now down in the count at 0-2. Dolphins won game number 1, 6-1. Their 6th win in a row, their 29th win of the year. And they jump off to a fast start here as Taro lines that one to first base. But it's going to be right at the first baseman as Agostini makes the catch for the final out. The Dolphins score 3 hits. They don't leave anybody. 1 inning at play in the books. Dolphins lead 3-0. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back. 1 inning of play in the books, and the Dolphins lead by a score of 1-0. And, one of the things that has been so dominant about this CSI pitching staff here in 2017 is just the fact that these top 3 pitchers just don't allow very many runs. Nicola Trapani with a 1.09 ERA for the year staked a 3-0 lead after 1 inning of play. So a good start here for the Dolphins, and the Rangers, who have really struggled and have yet to score here this afternoon, now find themselves trailing by 3 after 1 inning of play. So it's going to be 5, 6, and 7 for the Rangers here in their half of the second, as Agostini, Baia, and Budna will be the batters here for the Rangers. So Agostini pitched in game number 1. She picked up the loss to drop to 5-11, playing first base in game number 2, and she'll lead off in the second inning against Nicola Trapani. And the first pitch is chopped foul down the first base line, out of play, 0-1. Trapani looking in for the side now. The 0-1 pitch is going to be down low for a ball. That'll even the count up at 1-1. A little mist in the air here at the CSI softball complex. One more doubleheader for the Dolphins after today, as that one is lined to third, but a nice defensive backhanded play that time by Antoinette Galbo. Galbo's played excellent in the field at both third and second base for the Dolphins, making a number of big plays in important moments. And there she backhands the leadoff smash by Agostini. 1 up, 1 down. Third baseman Mcguire, the batter. As that ball goes under the glove of Cortella, she gets it. She guns it over to first base, but Holmes cannot hang on to the play. As that time the ball went just under the glove of Nicola Trapani, and that's going to be scored an error on the play as the Dolphins are given an error, and that'll put a runner at first base and one out. So I guess that'll be an error on the first baseman, and that'll put a runner at first base with one out, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Bethany Budner. And the first pitch is taken down low for a ball, 1-0. So the Dolphins commit their first error of the afternoon, and the Rangers have a runner on with one out, as that pitch is going to be taken up high for a strike, 1-1. Budner went 1 for 3 and drove in the lone Ranger run in game number 1. The pitch. That time Trapani took a little bit off it, and Budner swings over the top of it and falls behind in the count now at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, and the pitch is up high for a ball, and that'll even the count up 2-2. Trapani trying to get Budner to chase it. She gave it a good look, but let it go by, and the count's even now at 2-2. Trapani winds to 2-2, is swung on and lashed foul down the right field line out of play, and the count holds at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out now as Trapani is ready. And the 2-2 pitch is swung on and grounded foul, and the count will hold at 2-2. So Bayer reaches on an error, and the Rangers trying to capitalize, looking for runs here this afternoon. The 2-2 is swung up, popped up in the air. Holmes, the first baseman, is there, and she'll make the catch in fair territory for the second out. So 2 out now for the Rangers, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Lauren Mastro-Piero. Mastro-Piero walked in game number 1 and went 0 for 2. The wind at Trapani's first pitch is going to be taken low and inside for a ball, 1-0. Trapani now ready. The 1-0 swung on, foul down the right field line out of play, and that'll even the count up at 1-1. Dolphins will conclude the regular season this Sunday afternoon, 12 noon start, FDU Florham. And that will be their final games before the Cuniac tournament, where the Dolphins will go in with the number 1 seed. Mastro-Piero now is going to take that one for a strike, and that'll even the count up at 2-2. Trapani looking in for the sign. And the 2-2, she took something off that one, and it's going to be pulled foul out of play, and the count holds even at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here. A runner on first base for the Rangers. And now Trapani is ready. And the 2-2 pitch is swung on and hit over toward short. Riches plays, guns it over to Holmes in time for the final out of the inning. So the Rangers get a base runner on an error, but they cannot advance up past first base. No runs, no hits, a Dolphin error, no one left. 1.5 innings in the books. Dolphins lead 3-0. We'll step aside and take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back and we're getting ready now for the bottom half of the second inning. The Rangers got a base runner on a one-out error in their half of the second inning, but could not advance by or past first base. So now it'll be the Dolphins' opportunity to bat in the bottom half of the second inning. They picked up 3 runs in their half of the first inning on the big blow, the 2-run triple by Vanessa Joya. So they lead 3-0, and it'll be Holmes, Severicio, and Katella. 7-8-9 for the Dolphins here in inning number 2 against Bethany Budner, and the first pitch is going to be down low for a ball, 1-0. So Holmes ahead in the count now, 1-0, and that pitch is going to be outside for a ball, 2-0. Holmes continuing her hot hitting in game number 1, went 1 for 3, drove in another couple of runs for the Dolphins. The wind and the pitch is popped up in the air right behind us and out of play. And that's going to run the count now to 2-1. Holmes and Riches tied for the team lead in home runs as that pitch is going to be down low for a ball, and that'll make the count even now at 2-2. Both players with 5 homers on the year. The Dolphins now 20 home runs on the season as Holmes swings and skies that one into center field, and Adams is there, and she'll make the catch for the first out. So 1 out, no one on for the Dolphins. And Christina Severicio will have an opportunity to bat now for the Dolphins. The wind and the pitch is going to be down low for a ball, 1-0. The wind and the pitch is going to be up high, and that'll run the count now to 2-0. Two balls and no strikes to count. And the pitch is going to be up high for a ball, 3-0. Dolphins now with 20 home runs on the season. That now makes their second highest total in team history. They had hit 19 in 2015. The all-time Dolphin record is 23 home runs in 2007. And still a lot of softball left to be played as Severicio fouls that one back to the screen. And that's going to run the count full now to 3-2. Juliana Katella on deck here for the Dolphins. Lights are on, a little bit of fog in the air, a little bit of mist in the air. As we head toward the end of April, get ready for the beginning of May and the CUNYAC Championship. And Dolphins looking forward to continue their hot play here as that one's going to be fouled back to the screen and the count holds full at 3-2. All remaining games through the CUNYAC Championships will be right here at the CSI Softball Complex. The 3-2 skied up foul once again, and the count still holds full at 3-2. So we'll have the 3-2 pitch once again. It's out time, a little bit taken off, but a nice job by Severicio to foul it off once again, doing a nice job making Budner work out on the mound for the Rangers. So 3-2, 1 out, and we'll redo it once again. The wind and the 3-2 is swung on, grounded hard towards shortstop. Mcguire plays, and she'll get it over to Agostini for the out. 2 up, 2 down for the Dolphins here in their half of the second inning, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Juliana Katella. Katella had a good game one for the Dolphins, made a couple of nice plays in right field for the Dolphins. She went 0 for 3, but a couple of very good defensive play by the Rangers in that game helped keep her at 1 for 3, and she takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. The wind, the 0-1, swung on, grounded towards third. It's going to be played there by Byer. The throw over to first base, Agostini cannot handle it. So it'll be an error on the third baseman on the throw, and that will allow Katella to reach down to first base with 2 out. It will be the second error of the game, and it will give Jacqueline Cortello an opportunity to see if she could drive home an unearned run here. Cortello singled, went to second on an error, and scored. She's 1 for 1, and first pitch swinging, she's going to pop up to third, and Byer will make the catch for the final out. So Katella pops out on 1 pitch, and the Dolphins are retired in their half of the second inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left, 2 in the books. Dolphins 2, Rangers nothing. We'll step aside, take a break. You're watching your voice of everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet at csidolphins.com. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the top half of the third inning. The Dolphin pitching has held the Rangers scoreless through their first 9 at-bats, and they lead with 3 runs in the first inning by a score of 3-0. And for the Rangers, in their half of the third inning, it's going to be 9-1-2, Mcguire, O'Leary, and Adams against Nicola Trapani, who's not allowed a base hit to the Rangers through the first 2 at-bats. And the first pitch is skied up in the air in center field. Angelo will come over, and she'll make the catch for the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 out for the Rangers here in their half of the third inning, and it'll be back to the top of the order. And the leadoff hitter, Cara O'Leary. O'Leary walked on a 3-2 pitch in the first, and she's looking for her first base hit of the afternoon. The wind, and the first pitch by Trapani is going to be taken for a strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to count. As Trapani's ready, the pitch is going to be bunted down towards third. Galbo is there, but she drops the ball. And that's going to allow the Rangers to reach base safely. And that's going to be a base hit on the bunt. So it was a nice bunt by O'Leary. She had Galbo back. Galbo charged the ball but could not pick it up. So a bunt single will be the first hit of the game for the Rangers. And that's going to bring up the center fielder, Brooke Adams. Adams grounded out to second in the first. She's 0 for 1. And the Rangers have a runner at first base now with 1 out. The pitch is up high for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes now. The count on Adams. The wind and the pitch by Trapani is going to be taken up high for a ball, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. And Trapani winds to 2-0. Is swung on and hit slowly to third. Played there by Galbo. She thought about second and then wisely decides to go to first base in time for the out. And moving to second base on the play will be O'Leary. So Adams is out 5-3 for the second out of the inning. And now with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, it'll bring up the catcher. Lined hard to second in the first. She's 0 for 1. Not sure what was going on there, but the home plate umpire went out and had a discussion with the base umpire, and now he's back behind the plate. So with a runner on second base, Heather Ronke will be the batter. And Trapani's first pitch is swung and grounded hard down the third baseline, foul and out of play, 0-1. Ronke hit that one hard down the third baseline. It went past Galbo, but foul. And Ronke now down in the count, 0-1. Trapani winds. The 0-1 is swung on, skied into right field. Cortella's over, drifting toward the right field line, and she makes the catch for the final out. So the Rangers get their first base hit of the game, but do not do any further damage. No runs, one hit, one left. 2.5 innings in the books. Dolphins lead by a score of 3-0. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the bottom half of the third inning. The Rangers picked up their first hit in game number 2 in the top half of the third inning, but they could do no further damage. And now the Dolphins have a 3-0 lead as they come to bat in their half of the third inning. It'll be 2, 3, and 4. Antoinette Galbo, Patricia Riches, and Vanessa Joya for the Dolphins, who hold a 3-0 lead. And Antoinette Galbo will lead off. Galbo hit the ball hard back to the mound. Budner could not make the play on it. Galbo was credited with an infield single. She went on to steal a base and came home to score on the 2 RBI triple by Vanessa Joya in the first. She's 1 for 1. And that pitch is going to be outside for a ball, and now Galbo gets ahead in the count at 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes to count. And the pitch is swung on, and that's going to be blooped over the head of the first baseman and into short right field, and that's going to be in for a base hit. So Galbo has her second hit in game number 2. She's 2 for 2. She will be down at first base leading off here in the bottom half of the third inning, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Patricia Riches. Riches came up in the bottom half of the first inning with 2 runners on, but popped up to second on the first pitch. She's 0 for 1 in game number 2. Budner looking in, and the first pitch is going to be up high for a ball, 1-0. Game number 1, Patricia Riches hit a ball deep over the left field wall for her 5th home run of the year to open the Dolphin lead up to 6-0 in the game. They would win 6-1, and that one she drills into left center field, and that's going to be in for a base hit. Galbo had to hold up as she watches that ball drop. Riches has her first hit in game number 2. Antoinette Galbo will go down to second base. 2 on, nobody out for the Dolphins in their half of the third inning, and it's going to bring up Vanessa Joya. Joya already having a good game here in game number 2 as she picked up her second hit of the afternoon, got her first triple of the year, and drove in her 25th and 26 runs of the year. And she takes the first pitch down low for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. And the 1-0 pitch is going to be outside for a ball, 2-0. So Bethany Budner working herself into a little bit of trouble here. First 2 base runners on for the Dolphins and down 2-0 on Vanessa Joya. The 2-0. Nice pitch on the inside corner at the knees. That'll run the count to 2-1. Budner looking in. The 2-1 to Joya. Swung on and blooped up in the air. The second baseman, Grodzki, is there, and she'll make the catch for the first out. So Joya pops the second for the first out. And now with run out and runners at first and second, that'll bring up Kristy Coangelo. Coangelo hit a sacrifice fly to right field in the first inning to drive in her 26th run of the year for the Dolphins and their 3rd run of the inning. And that one is lashed into left field, and that's going to be in for a base hit. The ball will be bobbled. Coming around third and scoring easy on the play will be Antoinette Galbo. It's going to be a single and an RBI for Kristy Coangelo. Patricia Riches will hold at second base. Coangelo's second RBI here of game number 2, and the College of Staten Island now leads by a score of 4-0, and Ashley Taro will be the batter, and that one's lashed down the right field line just foul, and Taro falls behind in the count, 0-1. Ashley lined out hard to first in the first. She's 0 for 1. Budner winds. The 0-1 to Notaro. Just down low for a ball. That'll even the count up at 1-1. Dolphins undefeated once again in the Cuniac regular season as Notaro bloops that one into left center field. Nobody's going to get it. It's going to be in for a base hit, and going to third base and holding will be Riches. Notaro will single. Going to second base will be Coangelo. The Dolphins have loaded the bases with 1 out, and that's going to bring up the red-hot Jamie Holmes for the Dolphins. The wind, and the first pitch to Holmes is whipped foul down the left field line out of play. Count goes to 0-1. Jamie fly to center in the second, so she's 0 for 1 here in game number 2. Game number 1, she had a couple of runs on an RBI double for the Dolphins. And the 0-1 is swung on, popped up in the air down the first base line. Giving it a chase is the first baseman, Agostini, but she can't make the play. And now Holmes is down in the count at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases loaded. A run already in for the Dolphins in the bottom half of the third. They lead 4-0. Looking to sweep the Rangers here this afternoon, and that pitch is on the outside corner. Strike 3 call. Nice pitch that time by Budner as Holmes got caught looking, and now with 2 outs and the bases loaded, it'll take a 2-out hit by the left fielder, Christina Severizio. The wind and the first pitch is blooped up in the air. That's going to fall in front of the shortstop, and the throw over to first base is in time for the final out of the inning. So the Dolphins get a run, but leave the bases loaded in their half of the third inning. 3 innings complete in the books. The Dolphins lead by a score of 4-0. We'll step aside and take a break. You're watching softball coverage on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're back, and we're getting ready for the top half of the 4th inning. The Dolphins picked up a run on an RBI single by Kristy Coangelo, and then after Ashley Taro got a base hit to load the bases with just one out, it looked like the Dolphins were poised to do more damage against the Rangers, but a nice job by Bethany Budner as she got Jamie Holmes to strike out looking on an 0-2 pitch, and then got Christina Severicio on a little bloop behind the pitcher's mound, and a nice defensive play that time by Mcguire to get Severicio at first base for the final out in the third inning. So the Dolphins pick up a run. They lead by a score of 4-0 as we head to the top of the fourth inning. It'll be Grodzki, Agostini, and Bayer. 4, 5, and 6 for the Rangers. The Rangers have been shut out through 10 innings by Dolphin pitching here so far this afternoon. And Grodzki takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Katie popped up to the catcher in the first. She's 0 for 1. And that pitch is going to be up high for a ball, and that'll even the count up at 1-1. Hard to believe, but we're up to the end of the regular season here as that's going to be popped up as Nicola Trapani will make the easy catch for the first out. 1 up, 1 down, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Emma Agostini. And regular season Sunday, Dolphins will go into the CUNYAC tournament with the semifinal round beginning here this Friday afternoon. And Dolphins looking for their 5th consecutive CUNYAC championship as Trapani makes a nice defensive play on that hard one-hopper hit by Agostini. She gets it over to Holmes at first base. 2 up, 2 down quickly for the Rangers in their half of the fourth inning, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Megan Bayer. Bayer reached on an error in the second. She's 0 for 1 here in game number 2. Trapani winds. Nicolette's first pitch is going to be fouled off out of play. And the count goes to 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. 2 outs, nobody on for the Rangers. Top half of the fourth inning. Dolphins lead 4-0. The pitch grounds back to the mound. Trapani will have a hand in all 3 outs here in this inning. Rangers go down quickly in their half of the fourth inning as Trapani retires the side on 6 pitches. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. 3.5 in the books. 4-0 Dolphins. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back getting ready for the bottom half of the fourth inning. 9-1-2 for the Dolphins as Juliana Cortello will lead off. She swings and drives that one down the right field line, and it will fall foul and out of play, and the count to Juliana goes to 0-1. Cortello reached on an error in her only at-bat. She's 0 for 1 here in game number 2. Cortella, Galbo, the 3 scheduled batters here for the Dolphins in the bottom half of the fourth inning, leading by a score of 4-0. And that pitch is swung on and rocketed into center field. That'll be in for a base hit. Playing the ball on a couple of hops will be the center fielder Adams, but a good start to the bottom half of the fourth for the Dolphins as Juliana Cortella lines that one into center field for a base hit, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Jackie Cortella. Cortella 1 for 2 here in game number 2. Singled, got the second on an error, scored in the first, and popped the third as she bunts that one down the first base line. It'll be a tough play and a nice play that time by the first baseman, Agostini, as it looked like Cortella might beat that one out. Instead, the sacrifice will be successful. 3-4. Cortello will go down to second base. Cortella is out for the first out here in the fourth, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Antoinette Galbo. Galbo 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored here in game 2. She swings and fouls that one up, right up over our heads, out of play, and the count goes to 0-1. Dolphins won game number 1 here by a final of 6-1. They have a 4-0 lead here in game number 2 with a runner in scoring position and 1 out here in the bottom half of the fourth, as that pitch to Galbo is going to be up high for a ball, and that'll even the count up at 1-1. Budner's 1-1 pitch is on the outside corner at the knees for a strike, and Galbo now falls behind in the count at 1-2. Budner winds. The 1-2 is swung on, hit hard toward shortstop. Nice play by Mcguire. She checks the runner over at second and now trying to go to third and getting gunned down at third for the final out of the inning will be Juliana Katella. So Galbo will ground out on the play 6-3 for the second out, and then Juliana Katella will be gunned out 3-5 for out number 3 on the double play. So for the Dolphins, no runs, a hit, nobody left on the double play, 4 complete in the books with the score. Dolphins 4, Rangers nothing. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back, and we're getting ready for the top half of the 5th inning in a fast-moving game number 2. The Dolphins lead by a score of 4-0, 4-8-1 for the Dolphins, 0-1-2 here for the Rangers. Nicola Trapani out for her 5th inning of work here. The Rangers have been shut out through 11 innings so far, and it'll be 7-8-9, Budner, Mastro, Piero, and Mcguire to bat for the Rangers, and Trapani's first pitch is lash foul down the left field line and out of play, and the count goes to 0-1. Foggy afternoon, early evening here at the CSI Softball Complex. A little bit of moisture in the air, but not too cold, not too windy. So pretty good night for softball, as that time Budner's check swing, and that time she fouls it out over the right field line and out of play. And Trapani quickly finds herself ahead in the count at 0-2. The wind, the 0-2, close pitch just outside for a ball, and that's going to run the count now to 1-2. Trapani has walked one here this afternoon as that pitch is swung on and fouled out of play. Count holds 1-2. That was the leadoff batter, Cara O'Leary. She doesn't have a strikeout this afternoon, but has pitched very well. allowing just one base runner on a base hit, one base runner on an error, and one base runner on a base on balls thus far this afternoon. The 1-2 pitch is swung on, grounded foul. Count holds at 1-2. Budna leading off here in the top half of the fifth inning. Looking to get the Rangers off to a positive start. Couple of close pitches taken for balls, and that's going to run the count even to 2-2. So Trapani just misses the outside corner, just misses the inside corner, and the count's even now at 2-2. The 2-2, and that one way high for a ball, and that's going to run the count full to 3-2. So nice at-bat by Budna, falling behind in the count, taking a couple of close pitches, and now working the count full at 3-2. And the 3-2 pitch, and she chases that high, hard one. And Budna will be the first strikeout victim for Trapani here in game number 2. As I think Bethany might have chased the ball 4 on that one. Instead, she goes down swinging. 1 out, nobody on. Lauren Mastro Piero, the batter. Piero 0 for 1. She grounded to short. She grounds another one to Riches, and Riches guns her out for the second out. Patricia Riches, the freshman shortstop sensation for the Dolphins, just 1 error at shortstop here in this 2017 season, and has really played exceptionally well, obviously, for the Dolphins this year. So Megan Mcguire will be the batter. Mcguire swings and lines the first pitch right back up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. So Mcguire gets the second hit of the afternoon for the Rangers, a clean single as she lines that one right up the middle against Nicola Trapani. And now with 2 outs and a runner at first base, that's going to bring up the leadoff batter, Cara O'Leary. O'Leary reached on a bunt single in the third inning and walked, so she's been on base both times here in game number 2. She's 1 for 1. So O'Leary is ready to step in the box, and we're ready for Trapani's first pitch, and that's going to be taken for a strike, 0-1. Trapani looking in for the side. The 0-1, and she took a lot off of that one. O'Leary way out in front, and she's now down in the count at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to count. As Trapani looking in for the sign. The 0-2 is going to be taken just outside for a ball, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, 1 on. Top of the fifth, 4-0 Dolphins. And the pitch is a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Trapani retires O'Leary for the first time in game number 2, and the Rangers are down in their half of the fifth inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left, 4.5 innings in the books with the score. Dolphins 4, Rangers nothing. We'll step aside and take a break. You're watching softball coverage on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. So Patricia Riches will lead off for the Dolphins here, and she'll take the first pitch high for a ball, 1-0. Patricia thus far this afternoon is 4 for 6, so her batting average is now up to .555 for the Dolphins, as that pitch is going to be up high for a ball, and she's ahead in the count now, 2-0. So Patricia now batting .555 on the year for the Dolphins to go along with her 5 home runs, as that pitch is outside for a ball, and she now gets ahead in the count, 3-0. So she now has 43 RBIs on the year for the Dolphins, and the pitch is going to be taken right down the middle for a strike, 3-1. Riches, Joya, and Angelo, the 3 scheduled batters for the Dolphins in their half of the 5th inning. They scored 3 in the first, 1 in the second, lead 4-0. And Riches will foul that one out of play, and the count holds or goes to 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The 3-2 pitch is Riches swings and lines that one about a foot foul down the third base line and out of play. And the count will hold full at 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes on Riches. As the Dolphins are looking to win their 7th in a row here this afternoon, and that pitch is going to be down low for a ball 4. So Budner walks Riches on the 3-2 pitch. He'll be on base for the second time here in game number 2. And with Riches on first base, it'll bring up Vanessa Joya. Joya tripled home 2 runs in the first and popped to second. She's 1 for 2. As we're going to have a conference out on the mound, and it looks like we might have a little bit of a change here. So let's see what happens. Looks like Budden is going to come off the mound for the Rangers, and coming into pitch for the Rangers will be Agostini. So it looks like Agostini's going to come back into the game and pitch for the Rangers, and I would not be surprised if they just switch, which is what they're going to do. So we're back to Agostini on the mound and back to Budner at first base. So Emma will come in to pitch here for the Rangers with Patricia Riches down at first base. No one out. Vanessa Joya will be the batter as soon as Agostini completes her warm-up tosses. So Emma Agostini will go back onto the mound. Emma pitched game number 1 for the Rangers and suffered the loss. She pitched 6 innings in that game, allowed 7 hits, 6 runs, but only 2 earned, walked 4, and struck out 2. She picked up the loss to drop her record to 5-11, and she will come in here in game number 2 in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Bethany Budner on the losing side currently for the Rangers, as Joya will be the batter. Riches is on first base. No one out. Bottom of the 5th. Dolphins lead 4-0, and the first pitch is going to be down low for a ball, 1-0. Emma threw 86 pitches in game number 1. And is down in the count 1-0 here, and the next pitch is going to be down low for a ball, 2-0. So Joya quickly finds herself ahead in the count, 2-0. Kristy Coangelo, who has 2 RBIs in game number 2, on deck for the Dolphins. The 2-0 is swung on and nub foul down the third baseline out of play, and the count goes to 2-1. Dolphins looking to win their 7th game and win 30 games in the regular season for the first time in their history. If they could sweep the Rangers here this afternoon, they're off to a good start. They lead 4-0 here in the bottom half of the 5th inning as Joya now fouling that one off. And the count goes to even at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes to count. The wind, and the 2-2 pitch is going to be down low for a ball, 3-2. So Agostini now works the count full to 3-2. Riches is down at first base. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. The wind, and the 3-2 is way outside, ball 4. So back-to-back base-on balls give the Dolphins a scoring opportunity here in their half of the 5th inning. 2 out, nobody on, and it'll bring up the center fielder, Kristy Coangelo. Coangelo had a sacrifice fly and an RBI to right in the 1st and an RBI single in the 3rd. She's 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs here in game number 2. The wind and the first pitch to Coangelo is on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike on Coangelo as Agostini getting ready. And the 0-1 is down low for a ball. That'll even the count up at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike to count. The 1-1 is swung and grounded over towards third base. Shortstop played there by Mcguire. She'll get the middle runner at second base, Joya. The fielder's choice will be scored 6-4. Going to third will be Richie's. Coangelo will go down to first base. And with 1 out and runners on the corners, it'll bring up Ashley Notaro. Notaro 1 for 2 in game number 2. Lined to first and singled here in game number 2. Agostini's first pitch is going to be taken down low for a ball, and going into second base and making it easily will be Coangelo, as the Rangers wanted to prevent Riches from coming home to score. So now the Dolphins with 2 runners in scoring position and 1 out for Ashley Notaro, who's ahead in the count now at 1-0. The 1-0 to Notaro is going to be taken for a strike, 1-1. Second and third for the Dolphins. 1 out. They lead 4-0, looking for more here in the bottom of the 5th. The 1-1 is swung on. That's lined up the middle. That's going to be in for a base hit. Coming in to score easily on the play will be Riches. Going into third base on the play will be Coangelo. Notaro hustles her way into second. It'll be an RBI single for Ashley Notaro. The Dolphins lead by a score of 5-0. They still have runners at second and third, still just 1 out, and Jamie Holmes will be the batter. Holmes 0 for 2 in game number 2. The wind and the first pitch is going to be taken down low for a ball, 1-0. Jamie represents the mercy run at the plate. With 2 runners on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th, the Dolphins lead 5-0. The wind and the pitch is going to be outside for a ball, 2-0. 3 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 here so far in the 5th have given the Dolphins their 5-run lead. They have 10 hits and 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out as Holmes swings and grounds that one, and that's going to be under the diving Mcguire. That's going to be in for a base hit. 1 run will score. Holmes will advance down to second. And I believe that'll be scored a base hit and an RBI. And Holmes gets another RBI for the Dolphins here this afternoon. The Dolphins lead 6-0 in the mercy run in scoring position as Jamie gets her third RBI of the afternoon. Her first here in game number 2. She's got 24 RBIs. It's going to bring up Nicole Malak, who is going to come in, and she's going to pinch hit for Severicio with the mercy run down at second base and still only one out. Agostini winds, and the first pitch to Malak is going to be taken for a strike, 0-1. A base hit to the outfield could end the game if Holmes could come around to score from second base, and the 0-1 to Malak is going to be outside for a ball, 1-1. Nicole batting .296 on the year, 8 of 27, a triple, and 3 RBIs. Agostini looking in for the sign. The 1-1 is going to be up high for a ball, 2-1. Dolphins trying to close the door on the Rangers right here and win their 30th game of the season. Agostini winds. The pitch is on the outside corner at the D's, just outside for a ball, 3-1. Dolphins one pitch away from loading the bases as Malak ahead in the count now, 3-1. And the pitch is way up high, ball 4. Third walk of the inning for the Rangers, the second walk since coming and re-entering the game for Emma Agostini. And it's going to bring out Juliana Cortella. Cortella's been on base twice. She reached on an error and singled and ended up getting thrown out on the bases. And the first pitcher, Katella, swung out and grounded up the middle. That's going to be in for a base hit. 1 run will score. Holmes will hold at third base. It's going to be an RBI single for Juliana Katella. And the Dolphins now lead by a score of 7-0 as they have the bases loaded with 1 out. And if Jacqueline Cortella could get home 1 more run, the Dolphins can end the game right here. Jackie 1 for 2 officially, singled, popped to third, and sacrificed. And the first pitch is going to be down low for a ball, 1-0. Nice defensive play that time by Heather Ranchi. That ball had gotten away. It could have brought home the game-winning run. 1-0 to Cortella. Agostini ready. The pitch is going to be down low. It's going to get away. And coming in and scoring, standing up on the wild pitch will be Jamie Holmes. And the College of Staten Island is going to win their 7th game in a row and their 30th game of the season as they defeat the Drew University Rangers by a final score of 8-0. So the College of Staten Island gets 12 innings of shutout pitching, 12 innings of 1-run pitching as Cortello allowed 1 run in the 7th inning. Nicola Trapani gets a shutout here for the Dolphins here in game number 2. A 2-hit shutout for Nicola Trapani as Trapani pitches her 8th complete game of the year. And the College of Staten Island goes to up their record now to a career record of 30 wins and 6 losses on the year. So the College of Staten Island, for the first time in their history, have won 30 games in the regular season, and they have a doubleheader against FDU this Sunday afternoon. And should they take care of business against FDU, they would set their all-time record in wins in a single season prior to even the start of the CUNYAC tournament. So more positives for the Dolphins here this afternoon. They get great pitching. They outscore Drew University. They give up just 1 run on the afternoon. Jacqueline Cortella picks up her 14th win on a complete game, one-run victory. Nicola Trapani picks up her 10th win of the year, as Trapani will pick up her third shutout of the season. The College of Staten Island ups their record to 30-6 on the year. Setting ways for the Dolphins continue here in 2017. So that's going to wrap things up here from the CSI Softball Complex. Don't forget to join us for the final doubleheader of the regular season this Sunday afternoon, as the College of Staten Island will take on the FDU Florham Devils in doubleheader softball action. I believe Joe Foreman might be joining me for that doubleheader broadcast here on Sunday. So for my broadcast engineer, Meshach Alexander, and our official scorer, Dave Bizzuto, our announcer, Joe Foreman, this is Mike Babuski saying so long and thanks for watching. The College of Staten Island wins their 7th game in a row. They up their record to 30-6 as they get a 2-hit shutout from Nicola Trapani, and they win game number 2 by a final score of 8-0. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you Sunday afternoon. Don't forget to join us for our next broadcast, which will be baseball doubleheader coverage this Saturday afternoon, right here on your voice of everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.